In this video, I will show you how to find the inverse of a 2 by 2 matrix. So matrix A is right here. So the way you find the inverse, which is denoted by a little -1 superscript, all right, it is read A inverse. You have to do the reciprocal of the determinant of matrix A times what I'm going to call the reverse negate matrix. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Okay, reverse negate. You'll hear me say that a few more times. So first we need to find the determinant because that's part of the little formula here. So the determinant of matrix A is the down diagonal minus the up diagonal. So the down diagonal is -20. All right, and then the up diagonal is -12. Okay, so put that all together and you get -8. All right, because this is really -20 plus 12. And that is -8. So that is the determinant of matrix A, which means that A inverse is going to equal 1 over -8, or -1/8, times the reverse negate matrix. All right, in my mind, whenever I do this, I think back to a song, a line dance song. I think it was a cha-cha slide or something like that, where they were part of the song, they would say reverse, reverse, and everyone would spin around. So this reminds me of that, except it's reverse negate, reverse negate. Anyway, what do I mean? I'm still looking at the down diagonal and the up diagonal. I'm going to reverse the down diagonal and negate the up diagonal. So reversing the down diagonal means switching these two entries. So I'm going to have 5 and -4. That's what I mean by reverse. Now I'm going to negate the up diagonal, which just means change the signs. Don't move anything. But this -2 will become +2, and the +6 will become a -6. That's what I mean by negate. Reverse the down diagonal, switch them, negate the up diagonal, change signs. Okay, so basically this is going to be A inverse. So I just need to multiply all of these by -1/8. All right, so that's going to give me -5/8 and +6/8. All right, a negative times a negative is a positive. And -2/8 and +4/8. All of these, as I look at them, I'm thinking to myself, they're all over 1. Okay, so for example, when I did 1 over -8 times 5 over 1, I'm doing 1 times 5 and 8 times 1. So that's where I'm getting this from. Okay, but finally, some of these fractions will reduce. So for my final answer, I need to simplify any fractions that I can. -5/8 does not reduce, but 6/8 is really 3/4. -2/8 is really -1/4. And 4/8 is really 1/2. So this is A inverse. For number 5, we need to determine which of these matrices has an inverse in the first place. So the key to determining if a matrix has an inverse is the determinant. Well, first of all, it has to be a square matrix. None of this is going to work if it's not a square matrix. So like when I say square matrix, I mean like 2 by 2, 3 by 3, things like that. So is A going to have an inverse? Definitely not. because it's not square. I'll come back to B because there's something that this B possibly might have an inverse. C is clearly a no immediately because it's not square. D is at least a square matrix. And then we have these options here. So we need to take another look at B and D. Now remember that part of finding the inverse, your first step is to find the determinant, and you wind up doing 1 over the determinant. So the determinant cannot be 0. So basically now I'm checking to make sure that the determinant of B, I need to make sure that it's not 0. If it's 0, then I'm going to say no for that as well. So remember, the determinant of a 2 by 2 matrix is the down diagonal minus the up diagonal. So 9 times 0 is 0 minus positive 6. So the determinant of matrix B is negative 6. That's fine. So matrix B will have an inverse. It's a square matrix and the determinant is not 0. That's what it takes to have an inverse. All right, you can say that's what it takes to be invertible. So let's check the determinant of matrix D. Down diagonal minus up diagonal. That's going to be 12. Uh-oh, minus 12. Look out, people. We have a determinant of 0. So that's going to be a big fat no. You cannot do the inverse if the determinant is 0 because you'll wind up dividing by 0. All right, which is undefined. So we have a whole bunch of no's and a single yes. B is the only one that has an inverse. Okay, so this is multiple choice. So the answer is simply B. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. Go ahead and click here in the red apple to watch the next video. Click in the green apple to subscribe, or click the yellow apple for the full playlist.